Hi, and welcome to the Phenomenal Reflection Podcast. I am your host, Phenomenal Mindy, and today we have a special guest. And
Hi,
this special guest, what we're going to kind of do is I'm going to introduce her. Her name is Shanai. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Shanai, or you can just call me
Shanai.
Nicole.
Nicole. Good, 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 good. Okay, so Nicole is here, and we're going to talk about emotional abuse from parents. This show is about domestic violence, but not limited to. I started this podcast because I wanted to bring awareness to these certain type of different topics, and in order to cover domestic violence, we have to dive into topics that need to be talked about that leads into domestic violence, whether it could be shame from the parenting or whether it could be from verbal abuse. It could be any type of isolation, withholding, intimidation, manipulation. Those are the kind of things that fall up on the line under emotional abuse from parents. I know this is a touchy subject, so if at any point in time you feel like that talking about a parent is not for you, go ahead and remove yourself. But I do want you to kind of listen in because you may have somebody that you do know that can benefit from this. But before we go ahead and do, I will not forget this. This month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we're going to kind of be going through this month all along talking about purple, bringing in purple, and bringing in any type of guest that would like to be on the show and tell their story. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get the show started. So, first thing I want to do, Nicole, is ask you, how long have you been abused, or how long have you noticed that you were abused at first?
For me to know it, I would say in my early 20s. In my early 20s, after I became a mom, I start actually noticing it, that it was abuse.
Okay, okay. And is this something that you could share with anybody, or this is something that you kept bottled up inside?
I have shared with my inner circle. Um, I've always tried to reach out to close family, but they don't want to listen to it.
Okay, I think we're having a bad connection. Say it one more time for me. I'm sorry. Your
Okay.
connection.
Oh, what happened?
It's kind of
Oh,
going
okay.
in and out. I just want to make sure we hear you clearly. Are you there?
Is that my connection? I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. And I do apologize for that. We're having connection issues. But right now, we're gonna pick up where we left off at, and we're gonna let her tell her story of how she was able to tell, or if she was not able to tell. So go ahead, Nicole. You have the floor.
Yes. There was always one person I can tell, and that was my dear grandmother. Um, she understood where I was always coming from, always defended me. Um, and I will say, after she passed 6 years ago, that's when it got worse. The abuser, I guess, took it upon herself, since I don't have no one in my corner, meaning my grandmother, to defend me. She can just continue to do it.
So when you say abuser, what are the things that she was doing? Tell us what are some of the things that she was doing that you can identify that, hey, I'm being abused by a parent here.
Um, Belittling me. Um, for those who do not know, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor 16 years ago. I've had two surgeries and radiation, and she would use that against me. Anytime we clash, we get into it, she doesn't get her way. Basically, talk about the scars that I've gotten from the surgeries. Talk that I have what do you call it? A left eye, crooked eye, whatever. Just belittle me, talk bad, talk about my weight, tell me no man out there will want me, I'm ugly, things like that. And I will say, in the transition of losing my grandmother, I was pregnant with my daughter, my third child. We gotten into it, and she actually wished death on my unborn child. Um, I excused it. That was the first time she's ever said anything like that. I just thought it was because we were, we about to lose my grandmother. So I let it go. Um, and years after that, she always was saying something, oh, F those kids. I don't give a F about you and them damn kids. Y'all can kiss my ass. And it's just ongoing. And me just trying to hold up what my grandmother wanted. She always wanted me and my mom to be close, have a relationship. And I stand 10 toes of that because I always worshiped my grandmother. So I tried to honor that. And every time this abuse kept coming on, I would try to just push it under the rug. And I kept pushing it under the rug, and it built so much low self esteem, low self confidence. I didn't think I was good enough to, maybe even go out and date. I wasn't good enough to get a job, things like this. Um, yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this, and it's gonna go a little deep. Listening to the story, this is something that I've it's disheartening to even hear something that a mother would say. I know my mom is with definitely with the name calling, the B's and the H's. That is definitely something that she kind of was a form of belittling, and how she would think that she could pacify or get her way over. But girl, that is a lot to deal with, to enter count and to take in from a parent who's supposed to be your nurturer, who's supposed to be there for you. But I do want to tell you that you are beautiful the way that you are. And I commend you for taking the step forward to navigating through all of this and not letting it affect you. So you won't be raising generation of children that's going through the same type of trauma. So was there anything that your mama was fearful of?
Um, Not that I am aware of. When I look back over my childhood, I always try to say it was because she was an addict. So her using drugs, it probably really messed her up.
So she kind of was battling her own demons. And see that be the thing for me. And growing up as an African American, as a melanated being, sometimes, well, I'm not gonna say sometimes, all the times we were taught we don't go outside to seek help, or we don't participate in no type of counseling. If you did participate in counseling, you had to be crazy according to them. So I know that is a part of it, but did you experience any bullying from her?
Yes. So I basically grew up in three households. And with my dad always being in my life, I kind of grew this bond with my stepmom. I grew this bond with my stepmom. My mom did not like it. Every time I came back home, she would tell me, if you don't stop hanging out with her, go and get your hair done with her, I'm gonna cut you off. You're gonna be out of my life. I'm a young child. So, and that's my mom. So I really have to do as she say. And I want to get this approval and love from her. So I start, treating my stepmom badly just so my mom would be happy.
Oh wow. So did you grew a bond with your stepmother though? That's what I want to know. Did you grow a bond
And
with
it kind of broke. It broke because all I wanted was to make my mom happy. I thought that would help her get off of drugs. And that kind of broke. And still to this day, me and my stepmom, we're not super close like in the beginning. And like I tell my dad, I really regret it that I sat there and listened to my mom put in my head.
this girl, this is a lot. This is a lot. And it takes a lot to come forward because we feel as if our mom is our mom and we still supposed to honor that status. And if we do go against it, then we look bad upon for even the thought of going against your mom. But I like to tell people, and I like to tell my aunts, what about the children when there was children? Everybody keeps saying that's your mom and you're supposed to do this and do that. We didn't even ask to be brought here, you know. So as a parent, that is your duty to do everything that's necessarily correctly for your child and to break generations curse and trauma. It kind of, girl, Nicole, it really kind of saddens me when I see us melanated beings that's not operating in our full potential and not hearing our children. I don't have a daughter, so that's why it's very important to me to have a relationship with my mom, but I can't go against something that she has already set as her boundary. So I have to respect her boundaries just as well as she has to respect mine. And so with that being said, I grew up in a home where it was two-parent home, and later it began to be a one-parent home because my father passed away. So I do kind of know some of the things that you talk about. Most of all, my mom is a bully. My mom used certain things to position to get her way. It doesn't matter what it is. And along with that, she also carries an entitlement. She feels like she's entitled because, quote unquote, I am mom. So again, I go back to what about the children when the children are children? Like what's really going on? And I really hate to see grown adults go through that and then transition that to their children. And that's why I started this podcast because I definitely feel like with all the things that's going on within society today, these are some of the things that project to our children and they act a certain way. They participate in certain activity because they don't have a parent there that's, involved with them emotionally. You can buy all the clothes you want, you can pay all the bills you want, but if you're not there emotionally, then you're really not there because kids are kids. They will wear LA gear. They will wear something that light up Batman and be okay with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like they really, really will be okay with that. So they just need the parents emotionally. So I, I'm apologizing for every parent. I know I can't right every single wrong, but I definitely would like to try to. But it's a hard pill to swallow. And growing up and transitioning from a teenager to adult, you trying to figure out what is right, what is wrong. If it is right, why is it happening to me? So my question for you: do you plan to have a relationship with your mother at some point in time, or is this just it for you?
It's it. After my recent birthday, 36th birthday in July, that was the finish line. I couldn't do it no more. Um, as I'm a one single parent, 3 children, and I was overwhelmed at that moment. Overwhelmed to where I wanted to walk away from my kids with all the stuff going on, medical condition and everything. I was extremely overwhelmed. I broke down. I reached out to her, explaining everything, asked for her to take the kids, take them to the park, go get ice cream, and she tells me no. They got a daddy. Call their daddy. So it's like, okay, your child is reaching out to you and help, and you tell me no. So I said, okay, end up hanging up the phone. She calls me all day, finally talk back with her, and she cusses me out. Like, I don't know what the F is wrong with you. You all psychotic. You need to go get some goddamn help. I'm so tired of you. Your kids are so disrespectful. They just gonna be just like you, ungrateful asses. So much. And that was just a wake up call. Like, I am the way I am because of all of this that you ingrained into me. Here I am at my breaking point, and you can't even be there for me. And when I need you to step in to be a grandmother and just take the kids off of me, you tell me, no, I need to reach out to their father. And their father is MIA anyway. So
Right.
it was a done deal, and I end up checking myself into therapy. I do my weekly therapy, and going through that transition, the therapist has opened so many different doors for me. Like, she's the one that actually came to say you have a narcissistic mother, and I never looked at it that way. But everything that I've told her from childhood to adulthood, it points to that finger. And I can't do it. Like, I want to live a better life.
Right. Right. I understand it, and don't you feel bad for the decision that you made. Let me just say this again. Let me just say, do not feel bad for the decision that you made for your life. It's your life. You don't get a chance to redo this over. So you gotta look forward to a higher calling, and you gotta understand who you are as a woman and the responsibility that you have for your children. It's very vital that you are 100% for your kids because they do see the things that we do go through. Um, Let me ask a deeper question, and it's just crossed my mind. Do you plan for the children to have a relationship with your mother?
That's the heartbreaking part right there. So I have a 14-year-old. I talk to him. Me and him, we talk. Like, we're a team. I have to let him know. I asked him a question. Well, actually, I told him everything what was going on. He took it in. I asked him, "Do you still want to have a relationship with your grandmother? Don't do it for me. It's up to you." He looked me in my eye and he told me no. And I asked him why. He tells me, because she wished death on my sister. And for my son to say that, I had to honor his wishes. I'm not about to press that relationship. Like, if you're wishing death on your own grandchildren, I don't care if they're alive or unborn, that's just like a no. I can't. But for my baby girl, she doesn't know what's going on. She's the youngest, she's 6. She always asks me about her. I try to ignore it, but she constantly, "Mommy, can I go see her? Can I go see her?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, she's busy. She's busy. She out of town or something." I don't know how to break her little heart because she loves and adores her. So it puts me in a crossroad. Like, I would love for her to be a part of it, but she has to own up to it. She hasn't reached out or anything like that. Everybody in this house, they all got their own cell phone, including my daughter. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm not gonna have a relationship. And that's how I was grew up. Everybody kept saying, "That's your mother. That's your mother. You need to have a relationship." I'm not gonna do the same thing as everybody else in my family did.
And I'm gonna tell you the thing that you brought that up about other family members or other people. They don't have the mom you have. They haven't walked a mile in your shoes. A lot of those people that I encounter with are people who already have their mom in their lives. And kudos to them. Kudos to them. And I'm not trying to break up a family or anything, but you have to break the cycle. Because I'm pretty sure her mother had some ways too that was you know pushed down to her. And again, I commend you for stepping forward, telling your story because with the kids, that's something that really, really can break us. And sometimes you have to go in your closet away from them to, release things because I mean, cry. Those are not tears of sorrow. You're turning over a new leaf. You're stepping into a new chapter. Own it. This is the decision that you made, and there's nothing wrong with the decision that you made. Yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to continue to hurt, but there's nothing that you can do about it. If she can't acknowledge her ways and her path, then you have to let it be. You definitely have to let it be. And I have a 16-year-old. So I definitely understand the things that you say. And he has a phone as well. She can call that as well if there's something that she's want to do. But I do object when the phone calls do, because certain things as a 16-year-old I don't want my son exposed to. And she could be saying some really vulgar things. And I just be like, okay, that's enough now. I don't be disrespectful by any means. I say, okay, that's enough now. And I'm stern when I'm saying that. And my son, he'll say, well, Granny, you're doing a little too much, is what he tell her. So for your 14-year-old, it's gonna be kind of hard because he's older, and my son, baby boy, is 6. So he's kind of in the same stage as your daughter is, and it's kind of hard to, you know, not say certain things. So my suggestion to you, when that do happen, just try to shift the situation. Whatever that looks like, whatever it resonates for you, shift it, because at that age they still, sponges anyway. So shift the conversation. If you don't want to say, well, grandma just dealing with something, she going through this, that, and that, you don't want to get into all that, just shift the conversation. And I promise you, the road to this will get lighter for you. It definitely will get lighter for you. Is it's something that you're not going to be able to just let it lay up on the rug. It's still going to be there. Don't get me wrong. Like Mother's Day, times we supposed to be gathering. Some people do Christmas or whatever holiday that you want to do. But at the same time, you remain that strong woman and realize the reason why you made the decision that you made. Because sometimes we have the tendency of saying, "Well, hey, this happened. Oh, I do miss." But it's a price tag that comes along with it. So you have to keep in mind your why. Go ahead, you got the floor. I'm sorry. Did you want to say
No,
something?
no, I was just saying, I agree. It is a price that I'm dealing with. And speaking of that, she ended up reaching out to my father. I'm pretty sure you've seen it on my TikTok, the video that I posted. She ended up reaching out to my father, told my father that she was going to bust down my door and kill me. And my dad's just like, why are you saying that? Do you hear what you're saying about your own daughter? And she just kept saying, F that D, I don't give a F about her and them damn kids. And oh, okay. And after my father and I got off the phone, I did go ahead and make a police report just in
Right.
case. And got a restraining order just in case, because me and her, we've had gotten physical. She's gotten in my face, pointed in my face, slapped me, stalked me, done things like that. And so I just wanted to prepare myself just in case that does happen. And we literally live down the street from each other.
Wow. She's in a dark place. She's definitely in a dark place. And a lot of our parents, aunts, uncle around the same age are sitting their way. So it's like plowing nails out of plywood to try to open up a Pandora's box that might come back into play. So you this is something you have to tread lightly with. But my advice again for you, I wouldn't definitely participate in no activities. You still can, like, if y'all going to someplace and a family member invited y'all and you get there, yeah, I can speak. Hey, how y'all doing? How everybody doing? And keeping your energy to a positive state, because the minute you let it shift, then you're gonna shift, and then I'm gonna grab my kids and we gonna get the hell up out of here. you know, so you don't want to take that away from the people that invited you there. So I'm just, girl, that's a hard pill to swallow, because you got a lot of health issues going on too. And if I could be any assistance to you in any type of way, from afar, from afar, I'm definitely will assist you in any way I can. It doesn't matter too big or too small. I'm just easygoing person, and I want to see us do well. I do, and especially the people that's we all sharing the same thing. Like we all been through this emotional abuse, but don't let it you 50, 60 years from now and you still carrying them bricks in your backpack. So at some point, like you did, drop that load. It's too heavy for me. I can't tote this. I can't bear this cross. I can't go through this fire. Like I done been through it enough. And when we children, we don't have a choice. You know. So, um, what are you willing to do in your situation to help another sister or another brother
I
that's going
mean,
through the
like
same
I've
thing
been
that you're going through?
like I've been saying, and saying to myself, you can't always please everyone, even if it's one of your loved ones, your husband, your wife. You can't always please them. You gotta water your own plants. You gotta, nurture your own self. You gotta make your own self happy. Just take a step back and ask yourself, me making them happy, is that really making me happy? Or is it making me overwhelmed, stressed, tired out? And that's what I had to do. I had to, do a reality check on myself. And like, if you need help, need advice, need someone to talk to, I am always here. Like, I have girlfriends in my circle that just always constantly reach out to me asking for help and guidance. Always tell you, is it making you happy? What is the benefit besides you having your house paid for and car note paid for? Is it making you on the inside happy?
Mm-hmm. That that's the thing. That's the thing. And I was having a conversation with somebody about and I'm actually made a post on my Facebook page. Sometimes we would accept what we don't want to get what we want. And we don't know that when we accepting what we don't want, we are building a rocky foundations for ourselves, for our children, where we're not able to understand or identify who we really are to our core. And again, us as melanated beings, I just want us to progress and move from the slavery mentality. I'm just gonna say that, and I probably shouldn't have said that, but I'm just gonna say that we just have to move from that because we just have to. We just have to because we don't want generations to come, kids are we can see spiritually wise that they're still struggling with this because I can guarantee you that our ancestors are looking upon us saying, okay, this girl is really making a change out here. This girl is stepping up because my mom, she's been doing it ever since she was a little girl. So with her siblings, this is nothing new. Like they say, it's nothing new under the sun. This is nothing new. It's just when she had children, now she do it to her children. And her biggest thing is the bully. It's the bully, the bulldog bully. So and it hurts. But at the end of the day, she's still my mom, and the only thing that I can do for her is make sure that when she leave this earth, that she's put away in a very special way. I'm not sure if she will be remembered for the way that she acted, but as her daughter, as her baby girl, that's something that I'm dedicated to definitely doing. I don't want that to affect me or be on my conscience, when she passed away. I did all that I could do. And sometimes when you do all you can do, you can be cast aside. Like my siblings, they don't fool with me. They don't fool with me at all. But I don't think on the same thing that they think. And they still feel mom is mom, and that's the bottom line. You don't go as they say, you don't go against the grain. And by me doing this is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. So I definitely get it. Is there anything you want to say as a takeaway?
Um, just put yourself first. Always put yourself first. You got to take care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else. You are a number one priority. And if they don't honor that, then they are not meant to be in your circle, be on your path.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do, Nicole, I wish you the best. And again, I'm gonna give you my contact information. If you don't, reach out to me whenever you're feeling low. Cause girl, I'm telling you, it's lonely out here in these streets now. I'm telling you, it's lonely. It's lonely. So we need a
Yes,
community of, just like us, we lift each other up. We be armor bearers to each other. So,
yes.
with that being said, this is the end of the show. But before I go ahead and end the show, I want to give you the domestic violence 1-800 hotline. It's 1-800-799-7233. You can call this number anytime that you're going through a domestic violence situation, and they will direct you in the right area. And I also have the Trevor Project, which is for the LGBT community, also for youth that's involved with the LGBT community. The number is 1-866-488-7386. And the last one I'm gonna give out, which is gonna be my information, you can email me at phenomenal reflection 2024, and that's reflection with an S at gmail.com. And my number is 901-501-5456. And again, this is the end of the show. And don't forget to follow me on Spotify, YouTube, and also follow me on TikTok at Phenomenal Mindy. Thank you and see you on the next show.